Welcome back, guys. James Ryder Jones here. I told you that I was going to show you my thoughts about the whole Team RAR and what they could have done, maybe to be more smoother, as well as what I thought was going on, and we'll cover that now. So what I'm going to do is pull up the screen. We're going to just do screen captures and stills. We're not going to show any video footage. That's their video footage, but we will show screen stills. So as I pull up this first video here, it says someone destroyed my Lambo, and that's the video that started it all. That Carter on his channel says someone destroyed his Lamborghini. Now they spray painted it. Now I know, because they've already discussed that there's such a thing as fake spray paint, or basically spray paint that isn't permanent, that you can wash off. They later even explain that. So I'm pretty sure that all spray paint that is ever used in any of these videos is that type of spray paint. It's not permanent. I believe personally that somebody, even Carter himself, could have sprayed this on here and started this storyline. So this happens, and it was posted on April 25th, 2020. Now we get to the next video, and Carter does a lie detector test on Stove and Ryan. He goes through all the list of all the different people and says, I believe these are the only two that could actually be it. Now you go to the next video, and it says, I destroyed Ryan's car, and he spray paints Ryan's because he's trying to see how Ryan will react. Plus it's funny to watch these reactions. Now Ryan then goes and, before they clean it up, says someone destroyed my car, and he blames Stove. Now Stove has been in quarantine. I don't know exactly if he had coronavirus or if he had been exposed to someone who had it, so he was self-isolating. But this is why you'll see many videos with Stove wearing a mask and some of the others are not. It's because he had been self-isolated for a while, and so they confront him, and this whole video happens. Then Ryan also does this video that says last to get caught at Carter's house wins. Now you would think this is just one of their normal challenge videos, but basically they're going in trying to get security camera footage of someone in the darkness, evening time, whatever, spraying the car. Then Stove on his channel did, I destroyed Carter's Lambo, and the car had been cleaned up, and they claim they took it and got it repainted or whatever, and it cost $50,000. But I'm pretty sure all of this was just staged, and this is the normal situation where they're just doing their normal pranking each other and creating things off of each other. And at this point, I am 100% sure that no one knew that Carter had in his mind he was getting ready to upgrade to a better house. For all I know, Carter had been hunting for weeks and even maybe months for a place to move and buy, was even talking to realtors and actually getting the deal closed, and finally closed on the house and got all these things done, maybe even had all the things in place to move there that was going on all this time. He didn't tell anybody because he was just doing business as normal in the old Team RAR house. So in this video here, they walk around the corner, lift up the cover of the freshly washed Lamborghini, and they see R2 has been sprayed on it already. And conveniently, Carter rushes out and sees them. at this point, from that moment on, this video was posted on May 16th. I don't know if it was filmed on May 15th or when. The video on Carter's channel says, "We're leaving." And that video was posted on May 20th, 4 days later. But that was 4 days later, which makes it perfectly clear and easy to see that they said we were gone 4 days, and I could see that there was an actual gap enough for them to not literally be lying when they said we hadn't seen the place for 4 days. I do believe them there. And I do believe that they honestly did not know that the place was empty when they first went in it. I just do not believe that when they went in it, and it says right here, sneaking into Carter's house gone wrong, I do not believe that was the first time that they actually went in the house. Because I believe prior to we're leaving, I destroyed Carter's Lambo where they go. I think they were doing business as normal. They were like doing their back and forth, pranking and all that, and they were not aware of Carter's plans. But then he puts this video on, but when he posted, I believe when he posted the video, they had already, because it was posted on the 20th. But if you go down here to where he says, revealing the new Team RAR house, on the bottom of the screen it says Monday, May 18th, 9:40 a.m. This is the day that he reveals to the whole team that the house is empty and they've moved. Does it all on the same day. He's wearing a white long t-shirt with a white hat on the 18th. The video where he tells everybody we're moving but no one knows, he filmed the very morning, and it was posted on the 20th, 2 days after this, but it was filmed on the 18th. You gotta understand, you can film something and it can take a day or two or three or more before it's posted. So here he's wearing a white shirt. Let's go back to where he says we're moving. Right here on we're leaving, May 20th, 2 days after that. But if you see, he's wearing the white shirt. And the place is emptying up. And whether or not he wore the same white shirt 2 days in a row or not, I believe that that is the same event where he's saying, hey, I haven't told him yet. But after he filmed, I haven't told him yet. It's a surprise. He calls them over to film them showing the house empty, because he walks around the empty house filming, talking about all the little moments they've had, the memories, and then they edit in the memories, all the film footage. And even Stove, who edits, could have edited all that stuff after seeing it. Just because it's on Carter's channel doesn't mean Stove's not editing his stuff like he always was. So I believe from that moment on, they had already realized the place was empty, already realized that there was the new Team RAR house. They seen it, they already got that excitement, probably spent the whole day going around that house doing it, and then deciding, what are we going to do? We've already created this storyline that someone's in trouble because, and he's accusing both of us. What are we going to do? Well, we got to finish that storyline. We got to finish the whole scenario that we've created of someone's in trouble for spray painting this. So, well, now we've got this empty house, and Stove and Ryan still don't supposedly know. So since they don't know, they can then film on Stove's channel. They posted this, sneaking into Carter's house gone wrong, where they show up and the place is empty and they're shocked and they're walking around. What is going on? Walk around when actually you can see the footage in the revealing the new Team RAR house where they actually seen it for the first time empty, and we're like really surprised. Now, I threw in here that Carter Scherer is shopping for a Team RAR house. Now, the interesting thing is, I believe the whole storyline of the FaZe clan house was something that just happened to fall in their laps, that the FaZe clan moved out of their house and moved into a new place. you can see a dumpster outside of the house. And with that dumpster, you know that they've emptied junk out. Whether or not the FaZe clan talked to Carter or whatever and said, hey, we've still got the keys to this place for another few days or a week. You can go in and film or do whatever you want to for a couple of days and get some footage there. So they threw in, hey, we can go use it to like look for, I'm looking, this might be the new house, and Lizzie's gonna move into it, and all the little things that they filmed. I believe that those videos were either filmed in the same day or in the same 2 or 3 days that they had access to it. And knowing that they wasn't going to have but a couple of days to shoot and film, they took advantage of everything they could with that property, because even if they paid the landlord a couple $1,000s or so just to use the property for a day or two, just because it was in between tenants. So Carter and Lizzie goes out and looks for a new Team RAR house. Now Ryan next says someone broke into abandoned Team RAR house. So he goes in there to try to get more evidence, and he says basically, we've been spending hours surveillancing the place, taking turns, me and Stove, and he's there and someone's moving around. And it could have been Stove, but the problem is he like FaceTime Stove, and Stove is not like in the dark when he FaceTimes. So it could have been another member of Team RAR posing as this person, so they would have someone that he's chasing him and he's chasing them. So he gets locked at the top. So at the end of that one, he needs to be rescued, and it picks up on Stove's channel, FaceTiming Carter Share Gone Wrong. It's where Stove comes to rescue Ryan and takes him. Well, they go back to some studio area where there's a green screen. They FaceTime Carter, tell him what's going on. Somebody was in there. They keep trying to say, look, we keep going over here. And he's like, you're not supposed to be going over. It's not our house anymore. But yet, you see in the other footage that they're constantly over there. I don't know how many days they had or weeks of a lease left on the old Team RAR house before it had to be basically left clean for the new tenants to come in. But they had access to it for so many days or weeks that they could actually film all the things they did. So I still believe they had access and they still had rights to be there. But he's just going along with this story. So at that point, there's all this, and he's like, okay, we've got to wrap things up, but what we're going to do is get them kicked off. So Ryan's channel, we get kicked off, Team RAR, everything goes down, which then allows them to switch back to this FaZe clan where, hey, we're joining FaZe clan. They go show up at the FaZe clan house, which is empty, by the way. That Carter's already filmed shopping there, and then now Ryan and Stove are going there to join it. And if you watch the footage, this Lizzie, I moved into the old FaZe house and sneaking into abandoned FaZe house gone wrong on Ryan's channel. If you look at both of those, basically they're happening at the exact same time. The joining FaZe clan happened before Lizzie was in there. They were walking around and it was empty. But if you looked at the footage of, that's why I put it in between there. Lizzie's, I moved into the old FaZe house because she said her lease was up and she needed to move out in a prior video. So she moves in with a suitcase, and if you pay attention, you'll see Stove hiding and you'll see Ryan hiding in her video, edited in there. But she don't notice them. So they're showing that footage in there, but then you'll also see the other side of that from their footage and sneaking into abandoned FaZe house gone wrong. So that happens. Up to that point, there is literally no loopholes. There's no discontinuity or abrupt changes that throw me off. But then there's a video that I have down here in the bonus, which is the $10,000 hide and seek at the old FaZe house. It's a bonus video. It has nothing to do with getting kicked out of Team RAR. It actually was posted on Carter Share's channel, and it was posted before this video. I stole this from the old FaZe house gone wrong. Both those were on Carter Share's page, and in that order, the hide and seek and all that was done at the old FaZe house, which I believe was all filmed within a day or two. The problem is there was no resolution of them getting kicked off, because he actually kicked them off here and they joined FaZe Clan. And what happened is the joining FaZe Clan happened before sneaking into abandoned FaZe house gone wrong. That is where Ryan gets thrown into the water. Well, on the $10,000 hide and seek at the old FaZe house on Carter's channel, Ryan says, "I've never seen this house before," and Carter says, "Somehow I think that's a lie," and they kind of laugh about it. So that just shows the whole they're trying to take a break from the story to do this $10,000 hide and seek, which I have a little problem with, because it throws people off when you have this deep, intricate story that you're creating for entertainment. Then all of a sudden you throw in this just fun challenge that breaks the rules and allows team members who are only supposed to be around each other to be around each other. What I think could have happened was whether or not you could have put this hide and seek on Lizzie's channel and had Lizzie say, "I'm going to invite them to my new home, the FaZe house, to do a hide and seek challenge, and I'm going to invite them secretly, individually, Carter and Stove and Ryan, and they're all going to show up and they're going to be like, 'What are you doing here? What are you doing here?' And they'll say, 'Well, I thought I'd bring y'all here because you guys are best friends. Maybe we can do this hide and seek challenge, and if y'all have fun, it will mend the team.' So you can go from we got kicked off to we have this hide and seek challenge, and now the team is back together." But they didn't do that. They just had this odd little extra bonus video that doesn't explain anything. Well, then you go from that to I stole this from the old FaZe house, where Carter is with Stove and Ryan with no explanation of why they're buddies again. Well, if you would have made the hide and seek the mending video, the mending episode, where everything got back together because she secretly tricked them into coming there and doing this hide and seek challenge, the team would have been back together. You could have had him steal this from her house and go right from that to the video that says, "I snuck into the new Team RAR house." And in that video, Lizzie says, "I'm going to have to get out of the FaZe house because apparently this other team is moving in that house. So I guess I'm going to have to move. Maybe Carter will let me move in his new house." Which then would go smoothly into the revealing the new Team RAR house that Carter had. And then you could pick up from right there. The whole storyline would have been completed and concluded, and that would have been a great little segment of a story, and it would have been resolved, and you could have then picked right up with all new content at the new Team RAR house, which would have been fun and exciting, which I know is going to be because they're over there creating it. But what now the dilemma is, I believe this Carter Share video was him trying to hurry up and do something because these comments are getting like over and over whelming, because they're going, you know, this isn't fair, how's this? And they're confused. He's trying to help people that are confused because of all the loopholes that's been now created with the $10,000 hide and seek challenge and the I stole this from old FaZe house. Those are throwing people off, as well as they're just upset because they don't like their team broken up. They love their team. They've supported their team. And they don't understand entertainment content, and it's not an actual vlog of what's actually going on. It's just filmed for entertainment. So now they have the dilemma of dealing with that. So what I've also added in here, just for fun, in the bonus, is the hide and seek at the old Team RAR house, and Bailey's, the other little things that's mentioned it, but they're not crucial to the story. There's more footage already going to be posted to resolve this. I will post that after this, even before the bonus videos, so that you can see it, and we'll comment on the further footages as well and talk about how they wrapped this thing up and resolved it in another video. Anyway, I hope this kind of explains what happened, what's going on, my thoughts on it. Maybe you can leave a comment below and say you agree with me that they should have resolved it the way I'm suggesting, with the whole hide and seek challenge at the old FaZe house being the resolving issue, and that way they could have moved on to newer things. But I just think there's been so much going on with trying to get this house empty. They're now in this new house, and it's got 10 bedrooms, and they're trying to get Lizzie and her sister and them out. They're trying to get Ryan and Stove and all them moved into the new house, and whoever's moving into it, and they're trying to relocate everything and do all these new things, and it's causing an issue with confusion, and the focus is off because you're trying to conclude this story and also create new content over here that's going to be put later and wrap all these things up. And I myself would have a hard time to try to like figure it all out while you're doing it. It's easier to look back hindsight and say, man, I could have done that and it would have been better. But you know what, you got to move on and just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward and just learn as you go how to be better the next time. Anyway, I think they're doing a great job. Their channels are growing, and I was very entertained. My kids were very entertained by the story they've created. I just want to say that I support the fact that they're following their heart and doing what they love, and they'll figure it out in the long run. It'll be fine. Hope you like this video. Subscribe to it if you haven't already. Till next time, guys, God bless.